most flower shops, I feel like you go in and you have to say, I'm looking for something for my grandma. I want to spend $50, and you have no idea what size that's going to be, what their style is going to be, what vases you get.
Natalie Gill has been running the flower store Native Poppy in North Park for almost 3 years. She had a vision for a different kind of flower store.
For us, it's very clear. You can get small, medium, large. You know the prices, you know what it's going to look like.
Her business is flourishing, but things didn't always look so rosy. She put $20,000 of her own savings into opening the store, but needed about $40,000 more.
I went to a bank asking for a loan, and the process was complicated and long, and I needed the money right away. I'd already signed the lease, taking a bet that I would get the funding. I don't know what it was, but it was just, I got rejected for every loan I tried for.
So she did something risky. She took a loan from an online company.
And it was a $24,000 loan that would get deposited into my bank account the next day, but it was at 18% interest, and I had to pay it within 3 years. Which was a risk I was willing to take because I had no other options.
Businesses in low-income or high minority census tracts have much lower rates of access to small business loans.
Gill's experience is a typical one, says Spencer Cowan, a research consultant. He prepared a report for the nonprofit Woodstock Institute on bank lending using data banks report to the federal government. He then updated that data and localized it to San Diego County for KPBS. Cowan found that only about 1 in 5 businesses in low-income areas have received a bank loan, compared to almost 4 in 5 businesses in high-income areas.
You're essentially a cash basis business at that point.
Right.
If you need to buy office supplies, you have to either get a merchant cash advance or tap into your own personal funds.
And he found that businesses in low-income areas received under 5% of the total loans given from banks in San Diego, while businesses in high-income areas received just under half of the total loans. He says that drives businesses to predatory lenders that can leave them worse off and has even bigger consequences.
Businesses don't get started, so employment stays depressed. The job opportunities aren't there in the neighborhood. Businesses that are there don't expand because they can't afford to. So you have a cycle that kind of perpetuates that neighborhood being less friendly to business, less fertile as an incubator for business.
Project Rio Collective started out as 5 families who got together from cleaning up the neighborhood here.
Tommy Walker is one of the owners of Project Rio Collective, a coffee shop in Paradise Hills that opened 2 years ago.
As we cleaned up the community, a lot of people in the neighborhood were saying we wish we had somewhere to hang out, somewhere we could grab a cup of coffee, meet our neighbors, do some homework and study.
True to Cowan's findings, Project Rio started not with a bank loan, but with investments from 5 families. And when they went to a bank asking to borrow $4,000 for an espresso machine,
they said, no, you guys don't qualify because you haven't been around long enough.
They ended up borrowing money from one of the owner's parents, and now they're serving Mexican mochas and lavender lemonades. But Walker says they shouldn't have had to do it on their own.
Some neighborhoods might not get the recognition or even the financing that they deserve, or even just, the help that they need.
He says he hopes other neighborhoods follow their example by working against the odds to make new businesses happen. Claire Trageser, KPBS News.